Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. This is episode 331, as well as day 331 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame, as well as run 2 big races within this time frame. One of those races being a 50K ultra marathon trail race. That was the Yankee Springs 50K trail race in Middleville, Michigan on June 5th, 2021. I was able to finish that 31-mile race within 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. That was on day 156 of my journey. The next race that came up within this yearly time frame was the Detroit Free Press Marathon. I ran the Motor City Challenge within that race, which entailed me running the competitive 1 mile and the competitive 5K the day before the actual marathon. Ran the marathon on day 290 and was shooting for a sub 4-hour time and was able to finish within 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 28 seconds. So was just able to hit that sub 4-hour time. Both the 50K and the marathon were both personal records for me. Was able to finish both those races as PRs, so I was very excited about that. And as you can tell, today is day 331, the 50K being day 156 and the marathon being day 290. I was able to not only run those races but keep the streak alive ever since. That was actually, I think, the bigger feat within running those races, almost to be able to get out there the following days and to continue to run to keep the run streak alive. So now we're sitting here on day 331, and let's break down the miles for the day, week, month, and the year. So for the day today, got out there and put in 11 miles even. Oh, that put me at 41.1 miles for the week, which put me at 192.3 miles for the month, which put me at 1,551.7 miles for the year. So that yearly goal of 1,500 miles we have surpassed already. We are past it by 51.7, so we're at 1,551.7. I'm trying to shoot and aim for right around 1,750 for the year. That's kind of the new yearly goal. Not official goal, but that's where I would like to land, is somewhere within that mileage range, 1,750. So let's focus though on these monthly miles of 192.3. Every single month I challenge myself to run a 100-mile challenge. I do it in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, as well as start a coinciding fundraiser to raise money for and awareness for throughout that coinciding month. So for the first 10 months, we were able to raise money for 10 great charities. Now we're here within the 11th month, the month of November, and raising money for yet another great charity. November's 100-mile challenge is in honor of Movember. If you'd like to learn more about this month's fundraiser, as well as make your donations and be able to help raise awareness for this month's fundraiser, you can find the link to do all 3 of those on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story or my personal page's Facebook story. Within those stories, you click on the link within it, and it'll open up the actual Facebook page where, like I said, you'll be able to learn more about this month's fundraiser, as well as make your donations and be able to help raise awareness by clicking on that share button. Do keep in mind that all donations that get made to this cause and this fundraiser go directly to this cause and fundraiser. Facebook is not taking or keeping any percentage or portion of your donations. They're all going to Movember here in the month of November. Also keep in mind, quick thing to really think about is on November 30th, it is Giving Tuesday. Any donations that get made on Giving Tuesday, November 30th, will get matched by Facebook. So if you donate $20 on November 30th to this cause, it will get matched by Facebook. So $40 will actually get donated in honor of you, but only $20 will come out of your account. So keep that in mind. If you'd like to actually donate or plan to donate to this cause, the best day to do it on is November 30th, because all donations get matched by Facebook that day. So you'll be doubling up your donations. So keep that in mind. Other than that, like I said, let's try to raise awareness for this cause. One thing, it is Movember, and one thing they do is to rock the mustache, which I have been doing all November. I've been rocking the mustache. Plan to shave off the stubble here for the last few days of November, and then probably leave the mustache behind until next year, possibly, or for a little bit at least. But it's been a fun month rocking the mustache for Movember. Now that we got that out of the way, we've talked about that, let's kind of get ready to get into today's actual episode. But as always, right before we get into today's actual episode, we're going to go over today's word of the day for November 27th. It is commensurate. Commensurate means proportionate or equal in size, amount, or degree. Proportionate or equal in size, amount, or degree. Commensurate. I can't even say that word, guys. So that is what today's word of the day is, though. November 7th. Commensurate. Just for giggles, let's hear it.
Commensurate.
Commensurate. I am saying it right, so I don't feel dumb, but I do. All right. So today's word of the day has been discussed. It is commensurate, and now that we got that out of the way, we can get into today's actual episode, episode 331. For today's theme, today's episode 331, it is modify. And for a couple reasons. First reason we're going to talk about is just my plans for this week. I had to modify my plans here these last 2 days to make it a little bit still doable, but just a little bit less extreme on the body. At least in the back of my mind, that's how it's going to be. We'll see how that happens when I go out there tomorrow. And we'll discuss kind of what I mean by that with modifying. But in general, throughout this year, I've been modifying, the things I do. I've been trying to modify myself, make these partial or minor changes within myself to become better and better and better and better. So that's kind of something I wanted to touch on too with modifying, is that it's something that we continuously can always do. We can always modify ourselves. We can always work on something to become a little bit better. And that's kind of the overall theme, overall reaching theme of this podcast. It's been me focusing on things that I think I need to work on to become better in general as a person. So I think there's all these things that we can modify within ourselves to become better versions of ourselves, which in return will make the world a better place. That is what I truly believe. So I believe if you want to modify the world, we got to start by modifying ourselves to begin with. Now, other than that, in that view, because I do truly believe that is key, is finding all the things that we can work on within ourselves and how we can modify ourselves to be better within those things that we need to work on. But let's talk about the modification of the week in general. So I've been pumping out 15 miles a week, right around there. First week I think I did 52 and a half. Second week I did 49 and a half. Third week I did 49 and a half. This is the fourth week in a row. And we're sitting right around, like I said, 41.1 for the week we got tomorrow. I had originally planned to pump out, out of 6 days, pumping out, right around 33 miles within 6 days. And then that seventh day, I had originally planned to run like an 18-miler. So thankfully, or maybe not thankfully, maybe what I did earlier within the week of me slightly modifying that plan of doing 6 5.5 mile runs in a row to finish off with an 18 miler. I kind of modified it by, the first day within the week, just adding, did a 10K and did 6.2 instead of 5.5. And then did a couple 5.5s, and then, yesterday did, 7. And then sitting at that point where it's like, okay, I can go out and I can get my 18 done today, but then that would only leave me like a 2 mile run to hit 50 miles. I could even go over 50 miles and even go for a bigger PR and mileage for a week. But my body just really wasn't feeling it. I had gotten out there later than I actually expected to. And once I kind of got out there, I actually kind of wanted to push it farther and do the 18, but I kind of just said, we're going to stick with something smaller and then go out and kind of slightly repeat that just a little bit less tomorrow. So that is what I did. I modified my weekly mileage. Kind of did it, like I said, throughout the week by adjusting it where I got enough ahead of the mileage I needed, that when I got out there today, I realized I really only needed 20 miles within 2 days, instead of 18 miles within 1 day. So I had 2 days to kind of get that same amount of mileage that I was looking for originally within 1 day. So I decided to kind of split it, and modify my week with that kind of run. So today I did put in that 11 mile run. Tomorrow I do plan on putting in another 15K. I think last Sunday I finished with a 15K. So no, I didn't. I think I did another 7 miler last week, because last week I did 7x7. So this week I'm going to, the week before I think I finished with the 15K. So this week I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do just over, right around a 15K to push myself over that 200 miles for the month, within 28 days actually. So within 4 weeks, being able to hit 200 miles, that is going to be a new PR for me. And then having those extra 2 days within the month to really push it, and see how far we can get it over 200 for the month. So kind of modified the end of the week here to keep going. And like I said, with us making these slight modifications within our own lives, while we're making these modifications, while we're working on ourselves to become better, and we're really pushing ourselves, we also have to kind of make modifications within those modifications. There's going to be things that pop up, like this, for instance, where you have a set plan of putting in a certain amount of mileage and you have an idea of how many miles you're going to put in per day, but something comes up one day where you're able to put a little bit more mileage in than you had planned, so you kind of modify your schedule so the next day you can put in a little bit less, and you kind of make these adjustments to work for you, as well as kind of make it a little bit less extreme on you as well, make it a little bit less challenging for you. Not that being challenging is a bad thing, but sometimes it can be overwhelming when you continuously challenge yourself. An example, what I'm doing currently right now, I'm pushing myself to run every single day, record a podcast every single day, put in big mileage while doing it as well. It's not like I'm just going out there and putting in 1 miles in every single day, while there have been months and weeks straight where I have just put in 1.5 days. This month I've really been pushing it. Haven't ran anything less than 3.5 miles. So this month have really putting in the work and have done it throughout the year. So like I said, sometimes you have to modify your plans in order to really hit the goals you're trying to hit. Sometimes it always doesn't go perfectly to plan, but as long as you're able to modify it in a way to get it to still work, you'll be able to still hit that overall goal that you possibly have. That's kind of what I've been doing throughout this year, and kind of been working on that. So for your daily discipline today, it is to modify yourself on a daily basis. In general, like I said, I think we're going to make the world a better place by truly working on ourselves on an individual level. So that is one way to modify yourself, but also to modify your plans. Maybe you need to change something in order to get it to work. Maybe you can't work out on Saturdays, but you can work out on Sundays, and you really want to focus on your health. Whatever it is that you have to do, figure out what it is you have to modify within your life in order to reach that goal that you were trying to reach. And like I said, the main modification to work on is your overall modification of the things that you know you're doing wrong, the things that you know you need to work on and be better at. So let's modify that. That is your daily discipline for the day today, day 331. Other than that, thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys can, please give the podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you've been following along and listening on. And until tomorrow, episode 332, stay disciplined. Get your daily discipline done. If you guys can, get your donations in for this month's fundraiser as well as share it. And until tomorrow, 332, peace out, guys. Thanks.